we're good to go.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone here to the Wabash County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Dan Dale,
Here.
Chris Hickman,
Here.
Patty Lingle,
Here.
Amanda Lyons, Joe Vogel.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Then we do need to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes as written?
If not, I'd approve, or make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Dan Dale,
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Okay. Then I think we are ready for the new business. But there's old business, electronic. What's this about?
So the old business, this was, we wanted everybody to have a little extra time to review it. This is the electronic meeting resolution. More or less, this is on the lines of what happened during COVID. We sort of put together some stuff for the commissioners and the council to be able to meet and have a quorum at meetings, or have the ability for somebody to not be here but still be able to vote, as long as we can see them on the screen casting and hear their voices. So it's just a 2-page deal. If you have had the chance to take a look at it, we also need everybody's approval on this, so everybody will have to sign off on this. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Members who participate, shall be considered present for the purposes of establishing a quorum, and may participate in final action only if the member can be seen and heard. All votes taken during the meeting at which at least one member participates by electronic means must be taken by roll call. At least 50% of the members must be physically present at the meeting, at which the member will participate by means of electronic communication, so that not more than 50% of the members may participate at the same time by electronics. We shouldn't normally have that here because we're a 5-member board, but you never know. So that's just a brief overview of a couple of the chapters of it, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And we've been asked to put this together. The Plan Commission approved one for the Plan Commission a month ago, and so we brought this to the Board of Zoning Appeals last month. But we didn't think you guys had enough time to review everything, so we put it back on the agenda to review again. So it's here for hopefully for a vote and approval if the board wants to move forward with that.
How does it work? We have an app on our phone, or?
The Zoom app.
The Zoom, yeah, it's just a Zoom app. So
Okay.
you zoom in just like anybody else can from our website. We give out the link to the website, and then you can get on it from a computer or phone or what have you, if you've got the app. What chances are we're not going to use it much.
Yeah.
But if we need it, that's one of the things. It just takes somebody to, not be able to be here for a medical reason for a couple of months. And, we would like for them to still be able to participate and things like that too. I know Chris travels a lot, and he would love to be able to participate if he could. So, those type of deals.
Would it be acceptable to call someone up to break a tie? Can you use it that way?
I don't think we could. I mean, I think you have to be present at the meeting. I don't think we could call them for that. You have to be linked into the Zoom. We have to be able to see you and hear you.
They have to be here to start the
Yeah.
meeting. And
Yeah, I would say yes. I think
Or
We'll be
on the Zoom. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not here on the
Right.
Zoom. Yes.
We could ask for alternates to be appointed too. That's a consideration too, that technically everybody that appointed you can appoint an alternate. But we just would have to know ahead of time to get them here, but yeah, you wouldn't want to just say, hey, zoom in real quick and break this tie. Technically, if there is a vote and it doesn't pass, I think it gets tabled to the next meeting automatically, and I assume.
Well, right there, section 5, no member of the BZA may participate by means of electronic communication. Adopt a budget, make a reduction in personnel, initiate referendum, impose or increase fee, impose or increase penalty, exercise power of eminent domain, or establish, impose, raise, or renew a tax. So
There's certain restrictions to what you can and can't do, our normal
So-
day-to-day stuff that we normally deal with, yes. All that stuff, like I said, was in there from other, boards and things like that, which may, have dealings with that kind of stuff, and we may at some point in time, but it's just stuff they want everybody in person to be able to vote on stuff like that, so. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna use it a ton, it's just an option for us.
Do you need a motion?
Yeah, we'll need to ratify this.
Signed from this board. Yeah, I would make that motion that we accept it.
Second.
Then moved and seconded that we accept the proposal for an electronic meeting resolution. And ready for a roll call vote?
Dan Dale,
Approved.
Chris Hickman,
yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Thank you.
After the meeting, if y'all could just stop by here and sign it,
Okay.
be great. Thank you.
Okay, now we're ready for new business. First agenda thing on our agenda is Andrew and Jennifer Paselke. Did I do that right? Okay. And they're requesting a special exception for a home occupation type 2 to place a bakery on the property with variance from the development standards to place an accessory structure associated with the home occupation closer to the front setback than required by ordinance. And then the property effectively.
And I've got it up here, it's just north of 114 on the east side of State Road 15. Address 12117 North State Road 15. Try to zoom in and keep that up there for everybody to see. Okay.
You ready?
You're ready? You're ready.
Okay, gentlemen and lady, we're here to talk to you tonight about cookies. Andrew and Jennifer live in the house, so primary residence. They need a special exception for a home occupation 2 in an Ag 2 district. And we need a variance from the setback requirement because your ordinance requires setback in the front yard of 105 feet from the center of Highway 15. And their proposed structure is going to be sitting 95 feet back from the center of the highway. In fact, it'll be maybe just a foot or 2 or 3 in front of the front house line, just a little bit. Let me just ask Jennifer to tell a little bit about herself. What do you do for a living and how you got into baking cookies?
Yes, so I am an administrator at Peabody Retirement Community, which is my full-time job. I had knee surgery and I love to bake. And while I was off, I had plenty of time to scroll through videos and look and watch everybody making cookies. And I realized that I could do that. So last year I lost my father and I started just getting more and more into it. It was a place for me to go and kind of escape. And I decided that after hearing many, many people tell me I should sell them, that I should sell my cookies. So I have created my own little business. And I've outgrown my home and I need an exterior structure that I can set up so that I can do my baking and decorating so that it's out of my house and kind of a centralized location for me to be able to do that.
Do you have pictures of the structure?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, all the board members should have copies of that.
What do you do? Andy?
I'm an electrical engineer,
Yeah, where do you work?
Bowmar LLC in Fort Wayne.
Do you have some cookies with you?
I do.
Can we see them?
She did, that's the. Oh, you did have those. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Mark was gonna take it.
Yeah.
I bought enough for everyone. I learned my lesson last time. I'm not giving them to you until after the vote, no briberies.
Pass them around here. One can go to that direction
I got more in my purse.
and a couple that direction. Not for just my pocket to take home.
I brought one for you too.
There's a healthy carrot.
You don't like carrots?
I said that's a healthy carrot.
No calories.
That's right.
The cookies are customized. Everything is custom ordered. She doesn't bake a dozen or 10 or 20 dozen and set them up for sale. Everything is special ordered. Okay? There's no customers coming up to the house. There's no traffic. There's no noise. Any odor, I hope, is good. Okay? She doesn't advertise. She's on Facebook
I'm on Facebook and I do have a website.
and a website, no signs in the yard. It's not gonna affect the neighborhood in the least. Okay? She doesn't use commercial equipment. She uses regular household equipment like you would have in your house to make cookies. Okay? The structure is 32 by 45. It's rebuilt. It sits, I think, in North Manchester now. What's it used for?
It's the original Chills at Ranger State Pizza out there to the west. It's a very nice structure. I walked up there and bought a few Sundays and cones.
Yeah, well made. It's not a cheap structure. Tell them about the power to the house and then how you're gonna hook up to the shed along with the water and the septic.
Yeah, we're set up fairly well on the house, so the service coming to the house originally had electric radiant heat in the ceilings. We replaced that with the propane several years ago, so the service going to the house, I want to say 350 amps or something. I mean, it's huge, so we don't have any problems there. Power comes in the backside, that will hire down, have the line run around to the shed, probably run 100 amps to that, I'm guessing.
There's a well on the north side of the property. The septic system and leach field goes out behind to the east. The plan is, I believe, to hook up the shed. The kitchen is on the south side of the house.
Correct.
And they're gonna hook up the water and into the septic system through the kitchen. So everything will be, like it should be. Okay. Jen is compliant with the Indiana cottage food laws. And if you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them for you. No questions?
And I will let you know, we did verify through the health department that what she's doing here is totally compliant with their rules and regulations. And we did have 2 inquiries to the letters that we sent. Neither one had any issues. So one last week on Thursday and then one today. Both very close neighbors, and after explaining what was happening, there was no questions, no issues whatsoever.
Can you move that up so we can see where the zoning stops south?
You want me to turn the zoning on?
Yeah, you will.
Rick? There.
Okay.
This is their parcel.
Yeah, this is the parcel. The green is zone business.
General business.
So you've got the restaurant here, there's a used car place here, there's a gas station here, there's, what's this here? There's another business.
Well, I think there used to be, the person, that was one of the persons that had questions. There used to be another house here and they tore that house down. And I don't know if it was a business though. It was this one, that I think they owned that whole thing and they were using part of it as a business and that's why it's
The
so.
GB stops halfway through the lot for some reason. So this is general business anyhow.
Yeah, and the person across the street, that was one of the ones that inquired along with yourself and Jar. And after discussion with them and showing them what was going on, neither one had any issues with what was happening.
So Rick, are you saying if it was in the general business district, we wouldn't even be here to approve this?
Yeah.
Not for the home occupation 2, maybe for the setback requirement,
Setback.
but that would be a variant, just a basic variance, not the home occupation 2.
Any other questions? And we're ready for a motion.
Might ask you.
Oh, anybody in the audience have a question on this? Variance request? Don't see anyone.
Yeah, so this is for the special exception request for the home occupation 2. And there will be an extra one in there, so don't sign both of
Yeah,
them.
we'll go to
Okay.
Keep an eye on you, Joe.
I won't be the one. I should just keep that.
Your motion,
I think
I'll make the motion to approve the request for a home occupation type 2 to place a bakery on the property.
I would second that.
Okay, been moved and seconded. We're ready for a roll call vote.
Dan Dale,
Approved.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel,
Yes.
Mark needs it.
Okay.
This is the next one.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
all the I was forgetting something. Not
Well,
others.
oh, yeah. Well, we could send those out.
Yeah.
And then those are, that's for the variance, for the setback requirement.
Setback requirement.
Yeah.
You ready for another motion to approve or deny the setback variance?
I'll make a motion
I'll second.
To approve it?
to approve, yes.
Okay.
Approve.
Thank you. Let's get ready to act.
Been moved and seconded.
Dan Dale,
Approved.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel,
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good.
Good luck.
Exciting.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Did you have the extra one on Sunday?
I have it. I kept that second one, just to make sure.
Did everybody get a cookie before I took them?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get one?
You can have the pink bunny. Thank you. Did you say you want a second one?
Pick one more. Won't have to eat it from you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was gonna say, I got
Gluten free or so,
Oh.
so I'm still happy.
You can take one of these.
You don't want it? I'll take it. My husband will eat it. I have an attorney over here that will eat it too. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm bringing gluten free.
I'll work on that for you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is Pamela and Lisa Owen, Old State Road 15 La Fountain, Liberty Township, requesting a variance from the development standards to place a residential structure in an A1 zoning district without meeting the minimum point threshold required by the factor point system.
Okay. So the property's here on Old State Road 15, just north of 800 South intersection. And the property in question is the wooded area in the northeast corner. We were given that square, as you can see on the map pages that you have, a request for the 23.67 acres to be split out for a residential home site. Normally, over 20 acres isn't considered a split, but because it's Ag 1, they're wanting to put a residential structure in there. We ran the point factor system, did not get the points available. That's why we're here. Other than that, we normally we wouldn't have needed to do anything here. If they would have got the 15 points available, we wouldn't be here. The other part of it is all wooded. It's not taking any production of farm ground out other than where the driveway is going to go. And as you can see on the maps that you have, there's going to be a 50-foot wide driveway going out to the north. But then also you can see on the south end, they're going to clear 4 acres back out and put it back with the farmland. And that way too, they could connect the two farms, the two fields without having to go back out onto the road or do anything like that. They've got a clear path between them. So, they've asked, for the approval of this, to be able to do the Ag One, or to place a residential structure in Ag One without getting the points. That's why we're here. They did not get the 15, did they get 9? I'll have to check. Did they have 10? Check and see exactly what they ended up with.
Yeah, score of 10.
10, okay.
So the driveway is going on the north to the west.
Yeah, so from the northwest corner of the woods, down 50 feet from the north property line and then straight west over to the road. So it's gonna be on the very, very north end. That's the only part that's gonna be actually taken out of production as far as that goes. And they don't really have to, I mean, they can still plow right up to the driveway, even though it's 50-foot wide, roadway access, which is required by the ordinance. But then, like I said, they're taking the 4 acres off the south end and adding it back into production, which I think at one time you could sort of tell just by what it looks like. It's not fully developed area like the rest of the woods, so it's more scrubby stuff. So at one time, not too long ago, this was probably all farmed, and then they just let this go. So they're taking it back out and clearing it and putting it back into production for farm ground. So they're here to ask for approval from that point factor system to be able to place a residential structure in the woods where it's Ag One.
Are you building a house there?
I am not. I am one of the buyers, I guess. That we're buying the ground off of them. Me and my 2 brothers are doing the farming, and then we have another relation that is actually going to buy the woods to build a house. So, yeah, and I think we did change it to, we were gonna do 70 foot instead of 50 foot, if that makes a difference for the driveway, just to have them a little bit more room, but. And we're gonna take, the 4 acres up the south side of the woods to connect the 2 fields, the less equipment on the road, the less accidents, so.
So you guys bought that whole big thing?
We have a purchase agreement, signed, we have not purchased it, this is pending this, I guess.
Okay.
Because we're young and can't afford the woods, and it doesn't add any return for us, and we don't need it for a house, but we do have, my brother-in-law's brother-in-law lives right through the section there, and he would like to build a house. He didn't show up tonight, but, he's the one that's gonna be purchasing that track if we can still down, so. And planning to build a house.
Any other questions? Anyone in the audience have any questions or concerns? I think we're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. We're ready for a roll call vote.
Dan Gale,
Yes.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Thank you, Ed.
Next item on the agenda is Jennifer Rickner, 300 West Wabash, Paw Paw Township, requesting a variance from the development standards to allow more than one split in less than a 5-year period.
Okay, this one's a little different. There's multiple parcels to this. We've been through some of these before. The first map that sort of shows, well, let me back up here. The property is located at the, more or less the corner of 300 West and 400 North. Jennifer, here present today, owns the piece to the north of this, the long skinny piece that is, takes in most of the creek and is north of the creek. She also owns, in conjunction with John, right? The 5.69 acres on the very north and east side. Then,
This funny shaped one, like, there.
That's the one that Jennifer owns.
yes, she owns that outright, right?
Here. Is that the joint one?
No, if you go a couple more pages to the next variance,
There.
Jennifer and John Rumble. That one. There's a couple more pages forward.
Forward. You see it?
Where you have 1 and 2, Park One.
1 and 2 parks.
Yeah. Then the second parcel that Brian was talking about is this one. It's like
Okay.
L-shaped.
Oh, it's blue, yeah. I
Yeah,
see
we're
it.
just,
I see
I'm
it.
just sort of going over the whole thing right now to show you
I'm on the wrong side.
what
got it.
parts are what here.
Okay.
So what they're wanting to do is to try to clean everything up, and then Jennifer wants to sell the wooded parcel to the north after they retain the parcels, if they get approval for everything on the south side of the creek. Because you could see their property lines in just south of the creek. They want to extend those lines north, take in those parcels of area between the creek and the existing property line, and then add those into the parcels that they own to the south and create one parcel out of those. But because they needed multiple splits off of each one, they're gonna need a variance. So the one that has parcel 1 and 2, as you can see, that's 2 splits at the same time.
Mhm.
That's not, they can't do that. They could do one of those. Once they had 2, they had to request a variance. And that's the whole reason why we're here. If they only had 1, we wouldn't need this. They could split that and add it to their parcel to the south. As you can see, everything's lining up. They wanted everything lined up. They just want to take those property lines, extend them north to the creek, take those 2 pieces, add them to their parcels to the south. And that is the request for the first variance. But like I said, because there's 2 splits, we had to require the variance request for that. So that's the first one. So we might as well just go through these one, and then we'll explain the second one, which is virtually the same property, but a different parcel. So we have those sheets for that one right here on top. And that's for requesting variance to allow more than 1 split in less than 5 years. So those are the sheets for that.
That's just the split one.
Okay. Oh, that's the ones. So in cases like this where they want to clean things up and it makes it simple, more or less, we normally would not have a problem with this in the office. We wish there was a way we could do this without having to bring everything to you. But when they did multiple splits, that was the reason why. Any other time, we would have taken care of this in the office without having to bring it. But with the 2 splits on the same piece, we had to request the variance. So yes, and they will be combined with those parcels to the south. They won't be separate pieces because they won't have access to a public highway. They're not the right size, or they don't have the road frontage. They don't have the right size to be able to keep as a separate parcel. So they will have to be combined with the pieces to the south. So when it's all said and done, a month from now, you could look at this if it gets approved, and you won't see that property line in between. It'll all be one piece.
It just cleans it up.
Just so I'm clear, these homes on 400, they're owned by other people, or are they owned by you?
We own one of them, and then my son next door owns one, and then my sister owns one.
So you're just wanting to take the parcel that you own and add to his parcel and then add to your own parcel too, right?
There are parcels.
We own 3 parcels.
Three of them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just gonna use the creek as the boundary then.
Mhm.
Makes sense to me. Any discussion from you guys? Any questions from the audience? I think we're ready for a motion.
I'd make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Moved and seconded. We're ready for a roll call vote.
Dan Dale,
Yes?
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel,
Yes.
Yeah. That's the first parcel. Then the second one, if you keep flipping through your info here, is John and Jennifer Rumpel. Virtually the same thing. Now you'll have 2 different splits on the same parcel there. So because the parcel starts with 5.69 acres, what they're wanting to do is split the east line of, or west line of your piece, the east line of your son's piece, extend that north and take in the piece to the north of your son's property and give that to him. Then take the piece that's across the creek, because they won't be able to get to it any other way now, if they end up selling this parcel to the north, and then granting this piece with the parcel they're wanting to sell to the north. So when it's all said and done, the property will come up to the creek and go through the creek. The piece that they're gonna sell will have everything on the north side of the creek. They'll have everything on the south. But again, 2 splits out of the same parcel. That's why we're here for this one also. Again, if it was only one, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have to deal with it. But because it's 2, we requested a split, 2 multiple splits out of the same piece. So we're asking for the variance request here.
Any questions from the board? From the audience? I think we're ready for another motion.
I'd make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. We're ready for a vote.
Dan Dale,
Yes.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is John and Deborah Burke, 29 East Ireland Drive, North Manchester, Pleasant Township, requesting a variance from the development standards to allow an accessory structure closer to the property line than permitted by ordinance.
Okay. The property question here, 29 East Ireland Drive. I will pull that up. It's, right here in the Sandy Beach, Ireland Beach area. They're on the north side, so this would be considered Ireland Beach. This is it here. As you can see on the new aerials, which we just found out last week, we actually have now, that shows new information just in the past week or so. So this does show the location of the structure that needs a permit for it. We were doing a little more work out here in this area to shore up some permits and things for. We had just discussed sending a letter to everybody when we noticed Mr. Burke's stuff, and so we decided to send him a letter just to let you guys know that we found an issue here. We didn't have a permit for it, and then we also found it's a little too close to the property line than required, and so that's the reason for the request for the variance. Did we have anybody call about this?
Water from neighbors.
We had one inquiry with no objections on 318, so I called. Okay, and then this is from Kyle and Julia Wyland. Wheeland, who is their next door neighbor to the west, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
This is the letter they sent to, give to us, and I'll read that now. I'm writing in regards to the structure located on the John and Deb Burke property adjacent to ours. I want to clearly state that the structure is not an issue for us in any way, and I respectfully request that the board allow it to remain as it currently stands. From our perspective as neighboring property owners, the structure is well constructed, orderly, and maintained. It does not create any safety concerns, visibility problems, or drainage issues for our property. In fact, if anything, it improves the overall appearance of the properties and contributes positively to the character of the area. The lots in this area are relatively narrow, which makes it important to apply a degree of practical judgment when property owners are working to improve their space. Small adjustments and reasonable placement of structures are often necessary in order for homeowners to make good use of their property while maintaining attractive and functional surroundings. I'd also like to note that before we rebuilt our home, the original property included both a shed and a well house that were located significantly closer to the property line than the current Burke structure. During that time, the Burke family never raised any concerns or complaints about those buildings. We have always appreciated their neighborly understanding, and we feel the same cooperative spirit should apply here. Overall, we have no objection whatsoever to the structure remaining where it is. It is not negatively affected our property or our enjoyment of it. On the contrary, we believe it fits well within the setting and reflects a reasonable effort by the Burkes to maintain and improve their property. Thank you, Kyle and Julia. And then, Paul Smithson's. James and Paula Smithson's 35 East. Are they across the street?
Yeah,
Are they the next one?
east of us.
Oh, they're east.
They're actually two houses,
It's on the same side of the.
three houses.
Three houses.
There they are. Okay. Yeah, they're 3 houses down. This is from James and Paula Smithson, 35 East Ireland Drive, which I've talked to both of them before. We, the undersigned, have no problem in granting a variance to the Burkes residing at 29 East Ireland Drive, North Manchester, Indiana, 46962, to allow the accessory structure closer to the property line. And then we did have another inquiry, like I said before, and there was no objection to it then either.
Ryan, is this on the north side of the lake?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, this would be Ireland Beach, which is, well, I think it's that whole stretch called Ireland Beach. Sandy Beach on the south, Ireland Beach or Ireland Drive on the north. There's sort of two separate entities when it comes to this. Yes, two separate places. Don't you have a separate, do you have a separate HOA even though?
Well, we don't have an HO, we have separate boat ramps.
Boat ramps, yeah.
Basically, everything we do that has to do with boat ramp, access to boat ramp.
Okay. So as you can see by the drawing that was sent, given to us, and then some pictures there, you can see where it sits on the property. And the zoning ordinance requires 10 foot for accessory structures. One corner of it's about 9.7 feet and the other is about 7.5 feet. So, you know, we're talking a little over 2 foot on one side and, you know, half a foot on the other for the variance request.
So this is your house.
Mm-hmm.
And who lives here?
That's Kyle Wheeler.
That's Wheelan's.
Okay. And the lot runs at an angle.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
Some do, yeah.
I think if you're starting in a little curve of the lake, you're gonna have a little more of a pie shape than a straight part. When it straightens out, I think a lot of those lots are a little straighter.
Any other questions from the board? Any
Just what-
questions? Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just because of my newness here, relatively, the recommended conditions, is that something if we approve this, then if those recommended conditions, number 6, if that takes place, then where it says additionally shall not be expanded further in the setback with any further additions. So with the approval,
If you
Would
wish to
that-
put that in there, you can, that's just something kind of standardly put in the recommendations in the staff.
Cause I'm just thinking down the road, if somebody else it moves into Wheelin's place and then all of a sudden they've got something right there. So that's my only thing. I don't have a problem with anything else.
We just, that's just more, you know, we don't want you to expand it anymore that would make any kind of a setback issue.
They technically have to come in for our variance anyway,
They
so.
would if they needed to, for the most part, on
Yeah,
anything
they
else.
want to put a patio off the
Right.
west side of it, off the gazebo or whatever you wanna call it. Then yeah. It would need a separate variance.
We'll add that in the motion.
Whoever wants to make a motion, if they wanna put it in.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the audience has any questions, concerns? Hearing none, I think we're ready for a motion.
Make a motion. Hearing none in favor.
Second.
They've been, got a motion and a second to approve the request.
Dan Dale,
Yes.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
you.
We will still need a permit for that,
Oh,
so
yeah.
just have to come in and can, we'll get the actual permit out.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
You're all welcome to the beach too. Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is Sweet Beginnings Maple LLC, 7174 East Small Street Road, LaGrow Township. Requesting a variance from the development standard to allow a residential structure to be built on a parcel less than the required 1.5 acres in an A2 zoning district.
Yeah, so the property, up here again. On the north side of Smalls Reed Road, here is 750 East. To the east, sort of going down towards, along the river, down towards LaGrow, but out there quite a ways. An old house set there. You tried to save it, I guess, couldn't save it.
Decided it's
Beyond saving, so they didn't have a choice really but to tear the house down. And since it's been sitting there for, a certain amount of time, 2 years, I think the ordinance says, without anything done, it sort of, then it says the property and the home need to come in compliance with the ordinance. It's only 1.27 acres, and minimum requirements an acre and a half. They still, no matter what, will still have to get approval from the health department, so that could still be an issue for them, unless you've already got that.
I got a site soil analysis done, and we do have a possible site for a septic system.
Okay,
We did have that far.
so
But I
the
didn't
health
go
department's
further
working
than
with you on that then?
that. I started that process over a year ago to see
Okay.
if I could, when I was going to try to save it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's probably one of the hardest things, most of the time, if you have a property under an acre and a half. That was one of the reasons why we changed a lot of stuff in our ordinance to maintain the acre and a half minimum requirement that we still have. Was because the health department wanted to see that more, the larger parcels, so. With that, you can see there's some pictures there, of the property itself. And, I don't think there was much else there. That's pretty much it. What we have two. Yeah, that's right. We don't have the minimum requirement for the road frontage either. So the ad and everything should have taken care of that. The application that we put in here was before we noticed too that they didn't have the required 200 foot of road frontage. So, and that's probably one of the reasons too why they don't have the acre and a half minimum. But we did catch that and fix that and got that in as part of it. So there will be 2 variance requests here with this approval. One for the parcel less than an acre and a half, and then one for the parcel less than the 200 foot required road frontage.
Just a question, off the Small Street Road, does that drive go back and then you share it with somebody else? Okay,
Yeah, there's a shared driveway agreement in place.
okay.
I think it's been there a while. I think when we looked at these areas, I think that's been there a long time.
20-some, 30 years.
Yeah, it's been like that. You know, it's always nice if you can have a separate driveway, but if you can't, as long as you have something in place to, you know, for maintenance and things like that, it's always better to have that agreement in place.
So you're building on the same, close to the same place it was?
Probably set back just a tiny bit further to the north there, but just the general vicinity, yes.
That's about the area
Okay.
where the red is.
I don't see the old house. Are you, is this a flip?
Well, yes, that's the intent. Yeah, I was planning to fix the house up and decided, yeah, over my head on that one.
I see a camper sitting there. Is that being used?
No, it's trash. I
You
mean,
could
it's
rent it
in
if
bad
you
shape.
want.
Hold off the vehicles, but not the camper yet.
You look at that.
I got plenty of campers right there.
You can go ahead.
And we get it.
Anything on the property, you can.
You can't give it to them till after the vote.
Oh, yeah. my bad.
Any other questions from the board?
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Now,
Now,
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
I'll second it.
Which one of the variances?
From the development standards to allow a residential structure to be built on a parcel less than the required 1.5 acres in an A2 zoning district. VAR 26-007.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First.
we got a motion and a second. Ready for a vote?
Sure, sorry.
Okay, y'all settled over there? Okay.
Yes.
We're good.
Dan Dale,
Yes.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Can I get a motion for the road frontage?
Yes, that will be the variance for the road frontage, minimum road frontage requirements of less than 200 feet.
I'll make a motion, yes.
It's kind of a grade.
Chris made that.
I'll second it.
The one you don't have yet. That's the only way I get my hat in the ring.
Chris made a motion to approve and Joe seconded. It's not going in there when you weren't paying attention.
You did. Sorry, I was trying to explain something to the petitioner. Dan Dale,
Yes.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle.
Yep.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Yep.
After that came by thought.
Like as in an auction. Yep. Yep.
You are good to go once you get your septic approval and all that.
Okay.
From the ground.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank
Hey,
you.
good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Maple syrup would have worked too, by the way.
I'm so sorry. Next time.
Hey, hand out his camper, come on.
Yeah, those kids clearing the back. I couldn't find John Denver's bird.
Oh, it's in the back.
It's clear in the back.
Oopsie. It fell on the floor and you got put in there wrong.
Oh,
That or
Really?
she's messing with you.
That's right.
I knew that was Joe's packet, so.
Mine's right in a row. I didn't.
That must
I
have one that
shared
I
with
hole
Patty.
punched.
I shared
Ryan
with
interrupted
Patty.
me and I got him out of order.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, well, next on the agenda is Betty and Amethyst Thomas. Hey, did I get it right? 2503 East State Road 524, Lot 1, Wabash, LeGros Township.
Yeah, so if anybody's familiar with the area, this is the old, Peppley's Farm Implementation,
Okay.
properties, now Zoomers.
Was that his home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, gotcha.
So this is that same property. Requesting a variance from the development standards to allow an accessory structure to be placed closer to the property line, in an Act 2 zoning distance than permitted. As you can see on the third of the, yeah, I think stuff you're looking at. You can sort of see where, they're requesting to place this, pretty much right on the property line on the south side.
How far is it supposed to be away from the property line?
10 feet.
It is required to be. And then Ag 2 is 13 foot, right, Jennifer?
Yes.
The required is 13 foot in Ag 2 zoning district for accessory structure for a side and rear property line.
Is this a portable building or will it be built?
That's one of the sheds that kind of has metal out structures, so it's not a wooden shed, it's metal.
Okay,
It's kind of the barn style with gable roof.
okay.
Yeah, because that lovely little shed next door got divided up and sent to the neighbors when they divided the land. So I'd like to use both stalls in the garage.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a fence around the area then?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we put in a fence just to kind of try to separate from the business, and, you know, you couldn't really go out
Makes
there
sense.
without, yeah.
See,
So it doesn't affect anyone directly behind it, it's just, you know, kind of no man's land between their one building and ours.
Well, does your driveway go up to the east side to the road?
So, yeah, it wraps around, we have an easement that comes through, and then our driveway comes around, so we have the easement to get into the garage on
East
the,
side?
yeah.
On the west side, because their garage is on the west, so they do have an easement from the old Peffley property. We did find that
Yeah.
and verified that they do have an easement to be able to use that, what would be the parking area to get into.
Smaller, part, the part that's closer to the new building, it would be the garage, right?
Yes, there were the,
And you came in from the west side.
yes,
Yeah, so that you drive across Zoomer to get out. I don't mind, I
Yeah.
just. it's-
Yeah, no, unfortunately, we do have to get out,
Okay,
so,
yeah.
you know, hopefully no one parks their
Is
RV
there
there
no,
because.
is
we
there
have to
no
block
drive
it.
on the east side
More
that
than
goes
one.
out to the road?
There, it loops through, it drives behind the house and
It
then
goes
loops out
through
the other way.
the trees there.
Mhm,
Okay,
yeah.
I did not ever remember that.
Yes, people, for some reason, they don't, you know, people will cruise by their house and watch the little delivery car do circles.
So the shed would butt directly up against that, your fence.
Pretty much, it would be, you know, a couple of feet back from it.
So I'm thinking maintenance wise to be able to get in there to.
Yeah.
It's
more-
more,
So it
Paint.
should never need painting because it's metal, it's powder coated, so it's almost like, the carports are, you know, the metal on there. But it's on a shed instead.
it's more of a lawnmower storage or something. like-
Lawnmower, extra, you know, holiday storage, yeah,
Okay, okay.
that kind of.
is there a particular reason you wanted to put it right on the property line, not back from the property, line, even a couple of feet?
Well, it will be a couple of feet from the shed, but that area is not that deep and it's a 10 by 20 shed, so it would be smack in the middle of the yard back there because it's just a small section. And so we were hoping to be able to have it more aesthetically pleasing instead of just sitting in the middle of the yard. Like a sore thumb. I am here.
What are you planning on doing between the shed and the fence then, as far as the ground is gonna be concrete? Would it be gravel? Is it gonna be grass?
We are having landscaping come in and they are going to be setting timbers and leveling it and putting stabilization gravel in there. And then they're
I'm just
going
thinking
to
again.
enclose the bottom. So,
Just thinking again about the ability to get in there to, with just whether you spray for
Weed whacker.
weeds,
yeah,
weed whacker, lawnmower through it, just something to allow
yeah,
that space to be able to go through there in the event something needs to be
yeah. I
done.
think they're planning on putting the landscaping part right up to the fence. Because I think he wanted a foot or two around the building to have that. I'm not exactly sure. He said whatever, it's a stabilization gravel with the timbers, the landscaping timbers.
Any comments from the audience?
Casper, yes.
And our one neighbors to this side of us have called and said they don't have a problem with it.
We had one inquiry request with no issues with it on 317.
Yeah.
So a week ago today, somebody called in and asked it, no issues on it. John?
There's Green Day.
What?
Paris.
Oh,
There's Green Day.
Is there any other questions from the board?
Make a motion, we approve it.
We need a second.
I think we need to have a stipulation of how far away from the fence it's gonna be.
Jay?
Make a motion with them?
2 feet,
Jay?
I'm trying to think in my mind what you know.
the bad part about it is we don't know exactly if the fence is the property line. That's what we don't know, I guess.
The fence is.
It's on the south end of it, so it's sort of hard because it's sort of sitting on an angle to tell.
Right,
That's why we were like, if they wanna put it parallel with the fence and the property line's not parallel with the fence, how do you give it an exact dimension to say, here's what the offset is? It's hard. I get it if you're saying the fence, but
right, well, that's what I'm
if
thinking.
20 years
not
from now, the
fence.
fence isn't there, then,
He's not worried about the property line, he's worried about the fence
Fence.
for maintenance.
right,
Yeah.
I got you. We're more looking at it because we're requiring the variance because it's too close to the property line, so that's
The
where
fence is a
we're looking
perimeter.
at. Yeah.
So it's a maintenance-free vinyl fence. We're a house full of women. We're not trying to. do maintenance. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even like to mow.
Well, I'm thinking, with that too, that not knowing what that other property will be on the other side of the fence down the road. And if something happens where, the wind comes along and tears the fence down and, and there's problems, then something has to be done with it. That means getting on someone else's property to do it, then it's my thought, if there's that space around it, then it gives the flexibility to at least be able to do the work from your side of the property. I know it's wasted space, but
I thought when they got the permit for the fence, I think we had to be 2 or 3 feet in from the property line for the fence when they put that on.
And I will say this too, because we do have the aggregate dimensions now that are part of the ordinance. That would restrict anybody on the south side from putting anything within 13 feet of their property line when a variance is approved that close to a property line. So not that it can't, they can't work around it. They have a large piece of property there. But it would restrict them from placing any accessory structure within then 26 feet of the south side of that parcel. Or that structure. Well, 13 foot offsets. So they can't be within 13 foot of the property line. So then that would also mean that the south adjoiner can't put anything within 13 foot of theirs. But because we have aggregate distances, you add those together. So now you cannot be within 26 feet of any other structure on any other property. So that it's not just affecting this parcel when that happens. It's affecting the parcel to the south too. Now, you go into the residential districts in Rowan and, stuff like that, you can't avoid it. The structures are so close because the lots are so small. It's a different issue there than it is in areas out in the rural areas or the county like this with the larger parcels.
Explain to me the aggregate.
So the aggregate distances, so the aggregate distances were put in the ordinance, so that I'll give you an example, I guess. In this case, if she puts the shed, say 2 foot off the fence, and there's 3 foot between the fence and the property line, that's 5 foot. Okay, that means she's 8 foot, difference between her property line and where the next person south of them has the minimum requirement setback, plus their 13 feet. So anybody who wants to build an accessory structure to the south has to be 21 feet off that property line, because they have to be 30 or the 26 feet off of that structure. That's what those aggregate distances were put in the ordinance.
Where did we come up with the aggregate? Has it been on there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's in every district. As a matter of fact, in some districts, it specifies your aggregate distances from a residential structure to an accessory structure, or an accessory structure to a residential structure, or a primary structure to an accessory structure. In very few cases is it required in there for that. Most of it is accessory structure to accessory structure.
Well, if somebody from the south wanted to put a light timed building there, they could come in for a special exception.
They could do the same thing.
3 feet from the.
They could ask for the same thing. And chances are, you'd look at it and say, look, I only want to be 13 foot off. I don't want to take the burden of the extra 8 feet onto mine. I want to be able to put mine up against my property as close as I can for the ordinance. They would then, though, have to request a variance if they wanted to put it adjacent to this within that area. Now, they could move it over. They might be able to move it down a little bit and not be the 20, and get your expanse between the two. But with the new aggregates in the ordinance, that's part of it. It's something else we look at when we do this, and that's why I brought it up. It doesn't always affect something, but sometimes it could.
We had a variance last fall with an aggregate distance in LaGrow.
What was the goal, about why the aggregate?
I think it's just to try to keep everybody from having their stuff right on everybody's property lines. I can only assume that's what it is. These were put in place before us.
Put in with the new ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we ever talked about that.
I just remember that we've talked in the past that you need to be able to get a fire truck around behind the structures. That
But on this,
might have a maintenance vehicle doing some painting or something. You need to have room for them to get in behind.
is metal building,
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna have a problem.
I can't see a problem.
I do understand what Chris is saying though, because I farm right behind Friends Church, so that row of houses that goes back through there. They've got fences, all different distances from the property line. Some of them are on the property line, some of them are 3 feet back. They can't maintain that 3 feet that's behind their fence. Most of them don't ever go back there and do anything, so that's all growing up in brushy trees and all kinds of trash, so. That's probably what he's talking about. You won't be able to.
Yeah,
If you say you're gonna be 2 feet, you can get in there and pull whatever weeds need pulled.
yeah, well, and actually, it's gonna be done around the
Yeah,
shed,
with
so.
weed
it won't
barrier
even
and
be
everything
round,
else.
yeah.
So.
In your case, you could walk on the other side of the fence. Right?
Oh, yeah, I can walk around, yeah,
No, but I mean, you own on the
other side. of
south
the
side,
fence,
or
yes.
the south side of the fence.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
I'm
could
I'm
walk
already-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
you-
thinking
you-
your property line.
And
Yeah.
play and stuff.
It's a little weird looking here, but I think we found a survey that sort of showed it. And it was similar to this, but not quite exact, but it did show the fence there.
Okay.
It say it was on it.
No, we drew it out.
I'm right, Chris,
Oh, I know.
agree.
Well,
I'll put that in motion, or whatever, but where she's.
well, I know when you have yard space, you wanna make the most of the yard space too.
Yeah, we had to move on the fence on that side as well. Because of some type of lines that were running through there, so we moved in like 2 or 3 feet. And on that side for the parking lot.
And as you can tell on the aerial sort of too, these lines are sort of shifted. Because with the survey that we see, it's pretty much right down this line. So I think everything's sort of skewed with what we're looking at on the aerial. There is a little more room, we think, behind that shed or behind the fence. That's why I said it just guessing, just a rough guess. If you stay 2 feet north and you have 3 foot behind, you've got that 5 foot buffer at least. That would be what we would, and 13 foot would be, that's where we sort of agreed it's gonna be close to that. If it's left with a 2 foot buffer, at least enough room for somebody to walk between the fence and the shed. We would love to see that, by the way, in the office. That's, something like we put down here just to say, hey, for maintenance purposes, I understand there might not be much maintenance, but you get somebody on the other side and then weeds growing through the fence and you want to maintain it, how are you going to get to it? Then it's tearing up your shed because it's getting through the fence and then tearing up your fence and your shed.
I did maintenance for 3 years at Indiana Wesleyan, and I know we've got in some situations where things were really close to property lines.
Yeah.
People got testy when they thought we were stepping on their property lines and getting into things and around buildings, because if you're in Marion, you look at how close things are, and it's just nearly impossible to do some basic things that you may think, oh, we won't need it now, but in 5 years, you go, hey, maybe we should have moved that a little farther out.
Well, behind you, does the Zoomer own that?
They do, so it's, there's a field there kind of that goes in between that, and that's their. Building that they do like the washing and
Yeah,
cleaning of the RV.
Yeah, there's almost 50 foot of grass there, it looks like, measuring it rough from the fence to where a little bulb of the asphalt sticks out right there's about 50 foot and about 70 feet to the building. So there's quite a bit of room over there. But again, like I just brought that up because, this could limit them on where they want to put something later on. If they wanted to, say something, they have the opportunity to be here. They should have gotten letters. So, if we didn't hear anything and it's approved, that's up to the board. So, it can.
And those are propane tanks there, the 2 propane.
You were talking about aggregate space. Now, if they wanted to park a row of campers right behind her line, do they have to have any setback?
No, as long as they're movable, and nobody's living in them. And if somebody's living in them for a certain amount of time, they'd say, hey, wait a minute, that's considered a structure and you can't have it within a certain distance of the property line. If they're not, and nobody's living in them, nobody's using them, it'd be just like anybody else being able to park their camper behind their house or, their garage or barn or something like that, if that's what they wanted to do.
Like camp on Sweet Beginnings property.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where you want to put your new camper right there?
Yeah, I'll take it right over there. Your Mike would love it.
Okay, we have a motion.
We have a motion and I raised a question about the
Okay.
space around it. And I'm just gonna say with knowing the property line, the fence is well within the property line. I'm not gonna say anything about the 2 feet, but I would just recommend that you put some space around that personally. So I'll second Joe's motion.
So it's,
They got their sheets.
Yeah.
we're not putting a restriction on that, right? It's just Joe's motion.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. We're ready to vote.
Dave Dale,
Yes.
Chris Hickman,
Yes.
Patty Lingle,
Yes.
Joe Vogel.
Yes.
Anyone want to come and move everything into the shed?
We'll let Dan do that when he puts his camper there.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
Have a nice evening.
coming.
You too, thank you.
And I've got your phone number, we'll get her.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm excited.
Okay. I guess we're ready for the director's report. Complaints update.
Yeah, the complaint soon.
Of course.
I'm thinking like a director's report like I do for PC. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have that ready. So the complaint updates, at 10 rollover from 25. Well, those are reassessments. So we have, let me do the reassessments first. 10 rollover from 25, 7 total received in 2026. The ones from 2024, we had 1 rollover from 2024. That is still open. 25 then would have 9. So that would be the 10 that we rolled over from last year to this year. 3 of the 7 that we've received so far this year in 26 are still open. So we have a total of 13 and with 6 total closed. As far as complaints go, total open 54, active. We're working on 43 of those, meaning there's still with legal 9, 2 unsafe. And then we've got our monitor list of at least 10 of those that we're still monitoring, just to be safe, before we either close them, or turn them into an actual violation. 62 were rolled over from 2025, and we've received 13 so far this year. And we have 3 more.
Yeah.
So, and then we have 3 additional that we've received here in the last couple of days that we're working with.
They've not been, one of the 3 has been confirmed,
Yes.
because Brian happened to drive by it.
Well, 2, the one in Virginia.
Oh, so there were 4 then.
Yeah, that has not been put in yet.
So we have 4 new ones in the last 2 days.
So those are not on our total list yet. So some of those I'd like to give it a little time just to make sure. And if we've got information that we can contact somebody, we try to contact them, say, hey, what's going on? You know, can you do this before I have to send you a violation letter, and try to see if it can get resolved before we actually do anything. And then we'll probably put that on the monitor list just to make sure. And if they don't do anything or clean it up, then we'll send them a letter, an official letter, and say, look, let's get this cleaned up or something done with it. So we're trying to give everybody the opportunity to deal with them and clean stuff up or do whatever they need to do, before we have to get a little harsher with things. So, but that's all I have.
Thanks for work.
Any other business?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor?
Uh,